Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a story. It's about music, but trust me, it might just change the way you look at every single piece of tech you use.
So, let's just start with a really big question. Think about it. When you pick up a tool, any tool at all, a hammer, your phone, are you the one who's completely in control? Or does the tool itself have a kind of voice of its own? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today based on some fascinating research by Iain Campbell. And believe it or not, our journey starts with the piano. To really get this, we've got to rewind the clock. Let's go all the way back to the 19th century. Back then, the piano was held up as the perfect example of what people called a transparent technology. What does that even mean, transparent? Well, the whole idea was that the piano should be like an invisible channel. It was built to be this perfectly clear window pane between a musician's idea and the sound that comes out, adding no color, no character of its own. Just pure, neutral execution. You know, one scholar, Samuel Wilson, put it perfectly. He said the piano was basically just an assumed background on which one writes. It was like part of the furniture, a background element you weren't even supposed to notice. A good tool was a silent tool, one that did its job without leaving a single fingerprint. All right, but that whole idea, this silent, obedient tool, it was about to get completely shattered. And it all happened in the 20th century. Thanks to one single revolutionary artist. Enter John Cage. He was an avant-garde composer, and he had this brilliant idea. He decided to stop looking through that clear window of technology and start looking at it. He wanted to see the smudges, the ripples, the glass itself. And how did he do it? Well, he got really hands-on. He literally opened up a grand piano and started wedging all sorts of things between the strings. Screws, bolts, little pieces of rubber. The result? He called it the prepared piano. And it wasn't just a piano anymore. It was this totally new percussion orchestra. And just like that clear window, it became totally opaque. All of a sudden, the piano wasn't this predictable, obedient tool anymore. It was contingent, unpredictable, full of surprises. You could even say it had found its own voice. Okay, but Cage was just getting started. He took this incredible idea, making the technology itself visible, and he blew it up. He scaled it way up from just a single instrument to an entire technological system. This led to one of his most famous pieces, Variation 7. This was back in 1966, and for this one, Cage decided, you know what, let's get rid of the traditional instruments completely. So instead of violins and pianos, his orchestra was made of, well, telephone lines, contact microphones. I think there were even blenders. And the key thing here is that these technologies weren't making the sound. They were just picking up all the random ambient noises from all over New York City. He essentially turned the city's entire technological grid into one giant, unpredictable live orchestra. And this is such a huge shift in thinking, right? The performer wasn't the master of a tool anymore. They were now a participant, just one node inside this massive, messy, totally unpredictable technological network. The goal wasn't control anymore. It was about embracing chance and just seeing what happens. So we've gone from a simple, controlled tool to this big, unpredictable system. And the story takes its next logical step with the groundbreaking work of a composer and computer scientist named George E. Lewis. So back in the 1980s, Lewis created this computer program called Voyager. And Voyager, well, it took this whole idea and launched it into a completely new dimension. See, Voyager isn't just a program you tell what to do. It's not a playback machine. It actually listens to a human musician play. It analyzes what they're doing in real time, and then it improvises. It plays back its own musical response. It's not about master and slave. It's a duet, a true non-hierarchical partnership. Okay, so a prepared piano, a citywide orchestra, an improvising computer, it's all really cool. But what does this history of avant-garde music have to do with any of us, right here, right now? Well, it matters because this story perfectly maps out the evolution of our relationship with all technology. Think about it. We started with technology as a simple, transparent tool. Then we moved to seeing it as a complex, opaque system like Cage did. And now we're interacting with it as a collaborative partner. And this isn't some abstract idea, it's our daily life. Just think about the social media algorithms that feed you content, or the navigation app that decides to reroute you around traffic, or even the generative AI that helps you write an email. We're not just using these things anymore. We are in a constant, complex duet with our technology. We're shaping it, and at the same time, it is absolutely shaping us.
And that's what this fascinating story from the world of music leaves us. It gives us a really powerful, maybe even urgent question for our own time. If our tools aren't just silent servants anymore, if they're now our active partners, what in the world are we creating together?